Hello everyone, and welcome to the Starseed Dragon channel. This is a tarot review or an oracle review of the Lenormand Fairy Oracle Cards. It is by Katz and T Goodwin, artwork by David Corsi. The Lenormand Oracle is enchanted by the powerful natural magic of the fairies and brought to a new world of wonders and wisdom. It is 36 cards, and we'll go through the guidebook. And it is, let me just open it up. I took the wrapper off of it. If you end up liking this deck, there is an affiliate link in the description box below, as usual. I'm just going to read the descriptions. There are, let's see what the descriptions are. The Lenormand is a different type of deck, so we'll be going through all of the different descriptions. This book is 128 pages. Let's measure these cards. They're pretty big cards. It looks like 5 inches or 13 centimeters. By about 3.5 inches, or it's about 9 centimeters. And let me just unwrap it and we'll get started on it. Hope you all are having a good day. And if you want if you're looking to have any decks reviewed, this is the back of the cards. So the fronts, they're pretty large cards, nice and wide, beautiful. But if you want any decks reviewed, feel free to put that in the comments, and I will see what I could do about getting them so we can review them. Okay. So here we go with the first card is number 1. Let's see what we got going on here. Let me get to the descriptions. Number 1, writer, messenger, communications, liaison. This house relates to the sitter's engagement with the world. It can indicate the message that is being transmitted to the world by their behavior. And the next card is the clover leaf, number 2. Luck. This house relates to where you will find luck by aligning yourself to the card in question. If you do, you will be lucky in whatever way the card dictates. For example, the dog in the house of the clover would be luck through a close friend. Next card. Number 3, the ship. Adventure. This house is about your purpose and the processes you will through fulfill your true destiny. Let me reread that. This house is about your purpose and the process you will go through to fulfill your true destiny. It is where your investment of time, energy, or money will manifest. The anchor in the house of the ship would mean long-term investment. let's see, let me just backtrack here. The fairy houses. In this more advanced method, we can find even more detail in the grand tableau layout. The houses of the grand tableau are very simple and provide a meaning for each position of the cards. They are the meanings of the 36 positions given by laying out the 36 cards in order. That is to say, the first house is that of the first card, number 1, the messenger rider. The second house is that of the second card, number 2, the clover. The final house is, of course, number 36, the cross. Now, each of these houses has a particular meaning which obviously relates to the card to which the position corresponds. Here we list our own meanings for each house and how the card may be read in it. You will see this is another version of the master method. It is possible that the houses way of reading came from the master method as a simpler way of remembering all 36 positions. Interesting. So, there we go. There are several different ways to read these cards. And I'm not going to go into all of them. I'm just going to read the descriptions. But let's move on to the next card, number 4. The house, security. This house is about what makes you feel safe. It is what keeps you grounded and safe. It is what you work towards to maintain a happy life. It can also be the center of your spiritual being. It is you, and it contains your own inner light, your soul, and your strength. It is your earthy anchor. Number 5, the tree, longevity. The tree house shows your health. The coffin in the house of the tree, 5th position of the layout, would show an end to the current health situation for good or bad, depending on the question. This is also the house of the ancestor, the source of life blood, and it is a testament to our survival. It can relate to family and the support that comes with being part of a lineage. Next card, number 6, the clouds, transition. This is the house of change and movement. It is all about the times in between, where we rest and take stock of who we are and what we want, and where we are going on our journey. It shows, too, where we may be most confused. Interesting. Number 7, the snake, stealth. This is the house of temptation and timing, knowing when to act on your impulses and when not to. Slowly, slowly, catchy monkey. He who waits will gain the prize by the means shown by the card in this position. Next card, number 8, the coffin, initiation. Whilst traditionally meaning an ending, we take it for initiation. This is the house of facing your inner demons and looking within yourself to hunt them down. This is the house of the shadow world, where you take the step beyond fear itself and turn and face it. This is the house of harnessing great power of the sitter approaches. If the sitter approaches the situation experience with awareness. Next card. Number 9, the bouquet, appreciation. The house of being aware that we are not alone, that we need to appreciate the needs of others and they need to do likewise. This house could be to be the house of philanthropy. It will show you where to place your gifts. Next card. Number 10, the Sixth, clearing. This is the house of regeneration. If we do not clear out the old, there will never be a place for the new. This has always been the way, and it always will be. This is the space of creation, life, and nature. What is here must be cleared away. This is the right time to cut it. Number 11, the rod or whip. Service. This is the house of discipline, work and maintenance, and striving towards the good of the whole. The card in this position can also show where we are not being of service and arguing with others. Number 12, the birds, owls. Divination. This is the house of looking out for signs. This could be being aware of the meanings behind the meanings of your dream. The ancient Romans would watch the movement of birds to interpret the signs behind their behavior. This was known as taking the auspices. It is therefore the house of the spiritual messengers. This house warns to consider well before making decisions. Check that auspices are good and true. Number 13, the child or little girl, innocence. This is the house of purity and action without guile. This is the realm of doing something for the pure joy without care of result. This is a world devoid of superficiality. Next card, number 14, the fox, cunning. This is the house of the scavenger and the opportunist. It is here that its situations, maybe it shouldn't be in that one. That situations will arise where you may need to be wary of the behavior of the flatterer, the charmer. Do not go off your guard too readily. Good information. Number 15, the bear, headstrong. This is the house of stubbornness and situations where you will find no joy in trying to dissuade somebody to change their mind. It is a position of power, so if your card, gentleman or lady, sits in this house, you are actually in the best position if you use your power wisely. You could look at the card in the house of the moon to see how you will best be seen by others and use your power in this way. Number 16, the stars, creation. This is the house of beginnings and endings. With the death of a star comes great brilliance. The card here in this house shows where you can find your way, particularly when compared with the card in the house of the ways. Number 17, the stork, deliverance. This is the house of benefiting from something you worked towards earlier. This is a house of timing and productivity, coming together to create joy and continuation. Beautiful. Number 18, the dog, codependency. This is the house of need and being needed in return. There is a strong emphasis on loyalty and responsibility. The card here will show where you can most find trustworthy support. Number 19, the tower, vision. This is the house of getting the bigger picture, being aware of what is going on in your life and in the neighborhood as a whole. It is the world of seeing beyond the obvious. Beautiful. Next card, number 20, the garden, communing. This is the house of getting out and about and mixing in the world This is the world of social engagement and entertainment. Number 21, the mountain, durability. This house relates to and describes the enduring nature of survival and growth. The mountains were carved out by glaciers and stand as testament to great strength. This house shows the sitter's essential backbone, a place of sanctuary and protection from hostility. Furthermore, it shows the potential for drawing upon hidden resources which are naturally available when we are forced to extract them. Alternatively, this position can show your greatest obstacle at this time. Number 22, the ways, choice or decision. This is the house of making decisions and acting upon them, and considering the long-term implications of these choices. It can, however, be a case of the road less traveled that turns out to be the best one. There is no right or wrong way, and you must choose your way. You will just take your pick, as you cannot go both ways at once. Number 23, the mice, productivity. This is the house of being busy and getting the work done. It is the house of the silent worker, the worker who is working away, slaving for the good of the whole, but is often not recognized. The work is often done by the little people who get little reward in return. It can be the position of loss, but only if you do not heed its message. So this position is the sinkhole of the spread and should be noted in every reading. Number 24, the heart, courage. In this house, like the cowardly lion in The Wizard of Oz, this is the center of your courage and being true to your own self. It is the house of exposing your center and being strong in the broken places. This is the house of all heart. Here lies within all the wonderful things connected with having heart, courage, kindness, consideration, as if often said about somebody who is very loving and open, they are all heart. So this is it in abundance, to have this house as the underlying energy of a question issue. It means that heart is at the crux of it. The other saying about the heart is their heart was not in it. And that is normally when somebody has given up on fighting the good fight. It just was not worth the pain. Getting to the underlying house of an issue will open the door to a solution. Next card. 25, the ring. Continuity. The ring gives this house the sense of sealing a deal. It is the house of the pledge that shines out into the card above it and around it, the sense of commitment, a cause, a bond, an oath. It can be a promise to oneself that has to be made in the context of the cards which fall in and around this house. Next card, number 26, the book, knowledge. The house of the book shows where knowledge may be gained, within or without. It gives to the card above it and about it the light of clarity and preservation. It can mean that the information required is easily found and shared. Next card, number 27, the letter, sentiment. The house of the letter is where considered communications must be made. The card in this house must be more considered than not, and those around it should be seen in the light of consideration and sympathy. Next card. Number 28, the gentleman, analytical. The house of the gentleman is the masculine house with all the stereotypes and archetypes of masculinity. The lady in the house of the gentleman would show that when that woman in the situation should take on a more masculine quality, depending on what that might mean for her and the other cards in the reading. Next card. Number 29, the lady, intuitive. The house of the lady is the feminine house with all the stereotypes and archetypes of that image. Less of a description. Not sure if I like that. Number 30, the lily, purity. What falls in and around this house should be considered in the light of memory and the past. There is a certain honor required in this house. It shows the simple truth of the matter as it is, as if from a wise old perspective. Number 31, the sun, will. The sun shines brightly and illuminates the card in its house, giving it focus, intense, and more power than it might otherwise warrant in a reading. It shows what will develop and bring you most fortune in the overall situation. Number 32, the moon, mediumistic. The moon reflects into its own house and gives the card above a deeper meaning, which should be delved into below the surface. Next card, number 33, the key, access. The house of the key can easily unlock the rest of the reading, so give due consideration to this card. It can also lock something, so the cards around this house may be barriers. Next card, 34, the fish, resources. The house of the fish is where resources can be drawn upon. Any card in this position will be quite positive. If it were the scythe, for example, it would mean that you can make more resources or time for yourself by cutting away and trimming down. If it were the book, it would show that you should keep your resources to yourself or a secret at this time. If it were the park or garden, it would show you would gain resources by meeting other people. Interesting. Number 35, the anchor, standstill. The house of the anchor is where the reading may be held firm or fastened, depending on the questions and the context of the interpretation. It will show what is most long-lasting in the situation, such as the man card in the house of the anchor would be meaning the man is going to be around for a long time. Next card, number 36, the cross, faith. The house of the cross shows the resolution and acceptance of the reading, the context, and the cards. It is the grace of solution and resolution. Traditionally, this image is of suffering, so the card in this house may signify where you are crossing yourself, what you are doing to make yourself a problem. If the moon was in the house of the cross, it would show that you were suffering because you worried about what other people thought about you. interesting. And these are all of the definitions, most likely pertaining to the actual pictures. The Lenormand runs a little bit differently than what a normal deck would run. Interesting that it has also different languages in here. So that's interesting. But it also has, as you can tell, the numbers, and then it has a face card, right? So face card meanings would definitely have significance. I'm not going to read through them. Lenormand is an interesting deck, that is for sure. And the Oracle decks can be used, also as tarot in a reading as well. So depending on your preferences, very interesting deck indeed. Lenormand is not for everyone, obviously, and I would say that they are for more advanced intuitive readers than anyone else. But if you like this deck, there is a description there is an affiliate link in the description box below. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a suggestion for a deck that you would like reviewed, please write that in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.